Hello everybody! Welcome, welcome! Welcome, 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 welcome! Let's see. Hi Hydra Fighter! I hope you're okay, Mr. Stizzly. Hi Com Stranger! Hi Bro Guy! PK No Wins, D-Corp, Zilla, Acadia. Oh man, thank you! Hello everybody! Hi Pills! Welcome, welcome, welcome! I hope everybody's doing well. How's RR6? I have not touched it. Won't be doing that for a little bit because today we are going to be finishing Twining Threads. I think basement. That's so ominous. Let's see. Venomothman, Mian, Baron. See you, King. Misery. Oh dear, is it that? It's the worst thing ever. Ruined your week. Is it that bad? Turn the BGM up until we get into a fight. How's it that bad? It's good but really intense. I guess, I mean, I don't know, we had to do like Refraction Railway 1 Bogak, which I just didn't enjoy but was kind of interesting. To go back and just like be reminded that this was Limbus endgame for a while. There's a few attacks where you happen to roll 3 tails with 45 SP, you get real sad restart. I was doing the hard mode of Ricardo's Reflect Trial and had some tails at 45 SP. Needed some heads at like 12 SP. Wasn't my favorite. Javidium. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Well, I'm quite curious. I'm quite curious now. Cause that sounds like more than just like Hecatula being annoying. Cause I think we all know sort of how to handle that with a lot of AoE ego. Hi Techno Critter, you'll be eating food? That's absolutely fine. I eat foods. I eat food, watching streams and videos all the time. Okay, I'm very curious. I'm very curious. I don't tend to stream Refraction Railway unless it's like I've done the like here's my working on resetting for my low turn count stuff. How long is it? I haven't even looked at. I haven't gone anywhere near it. That's interesting. And then I know that some people are having like because of the Unity update like device issues. I did see the like progression blocker update. Oh dear. Hopefully that's nothing to do with the story. Oh, they're within 10 turns. Continuable. Would it be the boss yet? Body, I mean... No boss, no. Yeah, I didn't think so. Then who are you? Because you are different. But that's exciting. The one thing I was gonna say, like, if I had to give a review of the Intervallo, it's not like anything critical, but I think it would have been nice instead of like it being the ring, especially because we're on the middles turf. We could have like brought back, do like upscaled middle a little bit, or like bring out the thumb for the other stuff. Hi Dragon Card, welcome! Welcome, welcome! Lovely to see you again. This is still what I was using. Yes. Yes. Oh, we don't have to use Gregor. We can...
살아서 돌아갈 수만 있다면.
do something more like that. I've actually, no, we have to... Hold on. Let's just redo the order.
자유로워질 수 없어. 이 검이
내 작품
전시 준비는 완벽. 시온우의 일정
이 떨림
대상.
7.
내가
드디어 내 차례냐? 부름이라.
This.
나를
Okay.
점 찍었다.
There we go.
격에 맞는 조언도 함께 준비하도록.
교류회 설레네요.
The black screen. I guess we could see if somebody has a Matiotis. Just for fun. More sacrifices. Once we dealt with the Falvis who invaded the Nurse Father's destroyed corridor, we left for the indexes. Okay. I do think this is a cool room. And ran into a few familiar faces waiting for us at our destination. Huh? Don't you guys have today off? Yeah, but I thought I might as well come along. It's, you know, you keep summoning us while we're in the middle of something, so I decided that it might actually be more convenient for us to be with you in person. Your summoning occurred at the most unideal moment. Now, I know you weren't doing it on purpose, but all 3 times you summoned me, I was leaning over snacks topped with a bunch of whipped cream. Today I learned that blacking out and waking up to a misshaped indent in cake I was about to chow down doesn't make for a very relaxing break. Sorry about that. I should have checked in with you guys before summoning, but I'm still getting used to it. Okay, now you're being too sorry. No hard feelings here, you know. In an emergency, you can't really make the choice. I'm tagging along because I need some exercise, that's all. I appreciate the additional employee assignments. Now, if you could share any information you know about yet another corridor? I hung out here all the time, so I know this place a little. There was this super clingy, annoying little... No, that wasn't the mask dude. There was this other, Is there something you don't remember? Oh right, Kira probably doesn't remember Sora. Sora? I don't think that name rings any bells for us either. Is that someone who used to live here? Yeah, well, Sora was the Index Apprentice, so she probably lived here. Forsooth, the Index Apprentice. Oh, pray tell, wherefore it is that the middle, the thumb, and the ring each have apprentices, yet the index and the pinky lack them. It would indeed be quite odd if a mere 3 of the 5 fingers kept an apprentice each. Retrace I might my recollections, yet I find it following a trail of odorless air, invisible and unreal. No, there was someone, but I can't. The representations of the pinky and the index apprentices are missing. No, to be more precise, a merciless blade has shredded and reduced them to intangible formlessness. How refreshing to hear that same impression from someone rather than myself for once. As it seemed that I was the only one who remembered the 2 apprentices, I retraced back to our first meeting and briefly shared what I knew about Sora. She doesn't sound like a very forgettable character. I liked her. Well, Uriah Shiki cut her into ribbons. That would explain why it feels as though I'm recalling a sequence of events, with a critical part missing in between. I can almost imagine her, giggling to herself like a creepy loner, and she probably wears glasses too, right? Like one of those gloomy introverts from anime. Oh no! Getting called out here. I see. That's what it feels like I'm tearing through each strand of a weave. Ryoshu? Let's say the world's made of strings or threads, clock. With every slash, this blade would be cutting through the flow of strands that twine to compose one's existence. When an object is severed forever beyond repair, you'd think neither trace nor shape would be left of it. But now that you've pieced some of it together, it's almost... Instead of elaborating further, Ryoshi fell silent, save for the sound of the tip of her cigarette turning to ash, like she was recalling another incomplete memory. I guess she's trying to avoid over-speculating on what she doesn't know for sure. Damn, that totally breaks the meta. I had a vague idea of how it works, but this is the first time I'm hearing the deets. Papa had to go through 4 ramp-up stages and remove seals to, like, even make full use of his sword. Honestly, yours needs a trade-off. Your sword totally paracreeps Papa's. Kinda does have a trade-off. T-O? There's plenty already. Oh, so true. Guess slicing your memories away is one hell of a trade-off, sorry. Okay, so I'm guessing you don't have anything to contribute for this corridor. I've got one. I don't know where it leads, but the index guy used it all the time. Hopefully it doesn't drop us into an army of indexes. T, P, U. They rarely gather in big groups. Sinclair? She said, that's pretty unlikely. Thank you, Sinclair. Oh. Ow, what was that for, Ryoshu? Wait, did you just hit me with that sword handle? I didn't do anything. Araya doesn't like it. But I saw it. I saw Ryoshu's scabbard, Araya, suddenly jerking to the side, prodding Sinclair like it was annoyed by something. I won't STS. I'll SYLC until you can barely walk. I swear, this isn't a slander or whatever. Look, you poked me so hard it left a mark on my arm, here. Well, I don't want to read too much into it, but the scabbard was rattling like it was irritated by something. Stop interpreting for her. This is why she won't stop making up these nonsense acronyms. He's making it worse. I gotta stop him from translating for her, somehow. Araya? Wait, that voice just now, it sounded a lot like Araya's. Dante, you saw that too, right? Ryoshi didn't do anything. Wait, really? It really wasn't her? Nope. Then it's decided. To be fair to Sinclair, no one else but I saw in full detail how the scabbard came to be. Which means that he couldn't imagine in his wildest dreams that the scabbard poked him out of its own volition. It doesn't seem like any of the sinners heard that voice either. Man, you guys bully him a lot, huh? Well, the lad's been long overdue for a little smack upside his noggin. We should head inside. Let's not keep Alan waiting. Kira directed us toward an almost disturbingly normal wooden door, so featureless that I could have mistaken it for any of the dozens of doors we'd walked past in other nests. We're greeted by a whiff of stale, musty air the moment we walk through the door. I think this leads to a basement. I forgot about the torture basement. Oh. I forgot that. People were like, Urien is the nicest nurse father, so we had to add something here. What are they cans of? They look like spaghetti. And emerged what appeared to be an almost dungeon-like basement area. Whenever the masked unk's beeper rang, he'd walk through this door. So, who are they? Oh, hello. The index. Signs of life. There are people living down here, up until just a few hours ago. Why are you here, paper slips? We were only executing the prescript. I've had it with these prescripts. Though at least yours don't make any annoying beeps. The basement was stocked up with shelf-stable and non-perishable food. And the cells are all completely empty save for what look like a makeshift bathroom in each one of them. It is likely that this dungeon was used to imprison individuals of varying features that may be required to complete a prescript. Seriously? This room seems to have been used for something worse than simple incarceration. Among Faust's conjectures is that the captives were conditioned in body and mind in various ways to match the prescript's liking. Sounds like that guy was just as crazy as the rest of them. Wait, that staircase right there leads up. Let's check out what's... Friggin' annoying, man. The heck are you doing? You cannot enter through this door. Oh, I see. Another griefer body blocking the door in the doorway. Move. I need to see something. The will of the prescript forbids you. You cannot enter through this door. What do we do? You know the answer to that, Dante. Kill them all. Is it worth forcing our way in there? They seem pretty adamant about not letting us in. I'd prefer if we stayed as far as possible from anything that has to do with the prescripts. Oh, it is. Oh, it is. But nothing in this basement gives me any indication as to where the door connects to. Otis is right. We're going to have to get upstairs somehow if we want to get an idea of where this door leads. If Rian's been using this basement, then I'd like to see what's upstairs. Honestly, learning that this door connects to some basement is more than enough intel to cross it off the list. Still, if this has anything to do with Ryoshi's memories... Alright then, let's push through. Executing your command, Executive Manager. The will of the prescript is absolute. Is it, though? Oh, there we go, there's the CG. This is the one that flashed. There we go. Hello, friends. And I'll turn it down a bit. It'll get loud. Okay, are these any different than what we've seen before? Flash loose. Kinda doubt it. Just give me this. Some of you may already be aware that the prescripts are delivered through various means. Of these, the paper slip is the most commonplace, and the most preferred by many. Will the prescript... Oh, there it is. Karmic consequence? Then the question we must ask is, how many forms might the prescripts take? Do they all flow from a single origin, or are there distinct entities behind each? Unraveling these mysteries is the purpose of the Society for the Research of the Index. Now, would you like to join us and explore the answers together? A modest blade, unassuming and unworthy of note. Yet in following the prescripts, the fulfilling of its directives, the aid of messengers that emerge from unseen places, the teachings of the proxies, is it slowly perfected into a weapon imbued with a singular uniqueness. Okay, and was there... yeah, okay, index targeting. I want to hope, like, going to Ryoshu was intentional. No, I'm gonna pose that. 5. Get this going. Okay. Oh wait, oops, I forgot. Spacing. Forgot to blow up Dawn. You can survive another turn, Don Quixote. I just saw her skill 3 and I was like, I don't want to do that. other forms beyond paper slips and beepers? I'm sure there are. I'm sure there's a smartwatch somewhere. I'm sure you can get them through text. Roaming charges may apply. One want able. I guess we'll just do the defense. Four. Will you be streaming the new railway soon? We'll see. I don't tend to stream the railways, but I have been off of doing Limbus content for a while, so I would like to do. We can fit in some extra stuff. Do some defense. Okay, remembering to pop Dawn this time. I like to think there's an index member getting free scripts from a Tamagotchi. Oh, I'd love that. Good, Clash win. Stagger. Okay, almost. What are they weak to actually? Oh, Prism, I guess Pierce then. As well take advantage of that. Get that used. Neat. You need more SP. Okay.
어디에서도 볼 수 없을 색채로.
훌륭한 단말만.
Be nice to get off one Furioso, but not with exploding region this early.
알고 있어. 예측은 의미 없다는 걸.
짜증나게.
마침내 끊어냈나.
Impasto. Okay. Lead. Save that for a turn. We'll do some, try and do some like bleed resonance. Next turn. Sure.
갑니다.
훌륭한 단말만 해.
Hey, good clash win. Ooh, have a nice D&D session, Dragon Card. Thank you so much for checking in. I appreciate it.
짜증나게.
숨막히도록 견뎌왔고 저를 바닥에 갈망했으니 헤아릴 수 없이 저주했으니
Thanks, Ryoshu. Okay, 2 more. Let's get some move. Not that not that this will go on too much more, but oh yeah, and we'll get closing time. Just for fun.
나가 이 순간이 다 뒤집어가 되어내리라. 예측 의미 몰아치는 것을
Goodbye.
처절한 원망.
이 피었잖아. 다음 놈 나와.
Remember Nintendo Labo? Is that the cardboard one? Oh. Hi friends. It's been a while. What's up there? You may speak to me casually, Araya, but in the presence of other apprentices, perhaps you should find it preferable to mimic the tone of the Dihui Star. Come on, it's not like I wanted to be Dihui Star, so let me do whatever I want while I'm here. Certainly, you have a point. So, what's there up the stairs? I'm not sure myself. I've never been upstairs. Aren't you even a little curious? I don't think curiosity is one thing index people normally have. Yeah, and being a rather significant exception. Why bother peeling back the heavens to see what is beyond? Those wanting of yearning needn't raise their heads skyward. Am I seeing Araya's memories? Bok, what did you see? I'm not sure, but now we've got another reason to check what's upstairs. Yeah, get me out of here. I mean, I should have known a basement. What is it? What is it with that just breaks my ability to click? She's erasing everything. Into oblivion, in silence. I was gonna say that seems like a boss title, but evidently not. Let's just make a quick check. Oh, we do have one. We wanted to like swap something out. I'm doing kind of a theme team. Just see what happens. Oh, a few people have pulled. Kind of missing some ego, but good to have that. And then we'll just change back up
내가
order.
내 차례.
부름이라면 살아서 돌아갈 수만 있다면
It was
무엇이든.
erasing UI interactivity. That could be a fun playing with diegesis experiment. Whenever I try and do my barely deeper voice, because I can't go very deep, I keep thinking about Ryoshi's voice actor. She put a clip of her like reading some of the lines, I think, for Blade of House of Spiders Ryoshu, and like her normal speaking voice was much higher, and then when she just switches to Ryoshu, and I was like, oh, voice actors are so cool. I wonder if like that range is something you can. I presume it's, even if you don't have it naturally, it is something you can work on, or maybe I'm just stuck with what I got. Oh, Summer Game Fest. Good reminder. I do.
이번에도 치령의 뜻은 본인과 같군.
I would like to check that out. Erasing you, erasing. Oh, jumping right in. Hit, then I'll turn it back down. Let's see. Prescript tracing, prescript conforming. I suppose you're not much different. But your index, what else are you gonna do? You one-sided. We prefer your counter. Try your best. Do your best.
감상은 어떤가요?
Wait, Crow Sworn is coming out! Oh, I do want to play Crow Sworn. Thank you for letting me know. I would like to play Crow Sworn. Hi, Gig! Welcome! Oh. Oh, sadly, no. Oh, no. Do we know when the Hollow Knight... I mean, sorry, excuse me. Hollow Knight Silk Song DLC is coming? I've been totally out of paying attention to a lot of news. Arkanites is getting another Monster Hunter collab.
본인은 최선을 다했다고 말해주시게.
Okay, here she is. Neither. She looks so cool. I don't think we'll be playing her. That means we want to probably do an okay job. Clashing with some of these, yeah. Troll. Troll favored. I would like you to try and win.
그대는 어디까지 각오했을지.
Yeah, I was holding off, but I'm excited to like see some proper Otis showcases. Let's see how she does even on not her team. Oh, oops. Bio, I forgot. She was coming in later. I deserve that. I deserve to lose all the clashes.
남았어도 이 정도쯤은.
But now we can get rid of tuners, fathers. We'll have to work on that. 5, actually 4. Is anyone? let Albina handle it. She's got the protection. Hopeless. Do that one.
그려낸데
How viable is middle team for the railway, do you think? 'Cause that could be a fun theme.
마지막으로 남기는
I guess the other question we were asking last time was how is the railway
아이씨, 짜증나게.
designed around House of Spiders Ryoshu?
아쉽네요. 좀 더 멋진 상을 남은 작품이 되길 바랍니다.
Mama Otis, that's cute too.
예측은 의미 없다는 걸. 저련.
Hey shows are blunt weak, so they're good for that section. Oh, hey show! We're never escaping them. Not that I mind, I like the team. Need two teams.
바이올렛, 브레이크 슬랩.
Oh, the evading queen.
숨막히도록 견뎌왔고 저를 어떻게 갈망했으니 헤아릴 수 없이 저주했으니
Like that. One day you'll win a clash. Actually, let's do Teak. Maybe we can get some pride res. Actually, you'll do your counter there. Strokes. I will let you keep the clash there. Okay.
그려낸 대로
Do we actually know like what's
불사이군 몰아치는 것을
what we're expecting like next week?
처절한 원망
I haven't looked at the predicted schedules in a while. So I don't quite remember for how close like next intervallo is, or if we might have like just an ID week again. Besides the first encounter, I like the other Abnos. Pretty gimmicky, like Runa. Yay! Those are my favorite.
저는 배인 줄도 몰랐네.
I kind of like them on Railway because there's like on one hand I like it playing with the mechanics, and then on the other hand I like the Railway aspect of how quickly can we ignore the mechanics. Just do some lust res. Okay.
그려낸데 나가서 싸면 귀는 내가 봐주지.
My Form Empties is still, as like the final of RR1, is still like one of my favorite fights to experience. Even if you were like re-rolling to get our Heathcliff to have the right skill
그럼 안녕.
to get rid of Ida turn 1, that kind of stuff.
예술적이네요.
I was like, this is the kind of fight I like. Wait. Wait. Is this Roland's room? Not the Roland depression room? Not the sad room with like the crib in the corner? And the picture of the waves. Rianne being like forced into Roland's role is the gift that just keeps on giving. Kind of a letdown when they were body blocking the door, like there's some big secret behind it. Kira, you just haven't played the previous game. Right? Looks like just any other average family home. Oh no. Oh man, I get cleaning up's a chore, but peeps should at least dust their home once in a while. The thick layer of dust covering every surface and the blotchy wallpaper made it clear that no one's been living here for a good while. Whichever family lived here must have had a child. Look, there are drawings and dolls too. That seems like the place has been abandoned for quite a long time. Could something bad have happened in here? There are bullet holes. Yeah, something must have happened in here that caused the family to flee, and then they never got to return. Yeah, lots of evidence suggesting that. The open door, the single shoe just lying around. Oh, I see that. Walking it, no. So someone fled from home for some reason, never to return. I don't know, it's kind of hard to narrow down the cause. It really could have been anything. Are you searching for something in particular, Ryoshu? Yes, but it doesn't seem to be here. Every framed photo is singed beyond recognition. Whatever documents there were have been torn to shreds. Singed. Kinda like my memories. So this wasn't where he escaped to, huh? The index nurse father, oh yeah. The last time we saw him, he fled the house via the corridor after suffering a severe wound at Ryoshu's hand. If by some miracle he survived, there's a chance he'd come after Ryoshu again, but something about our last encounter led me to believe that it was the last time Ryoshu would ever see him. This is... Do you recognize this drawing? I found myself hoping to see Ryoshu piece together another memory. She had been recalling new details all day whenever something caught her attention. Sadly, she responded by softly shaking her head. No, I don't. Oh boy. Oh, there's the repeating one. Hi, friends. Okay. And just one sec, I just got... I'm really sorry, this is I'm gonna pause for a second. Not me, but this is just checking... Okay, that's fine. And it's gonna make a noise. But it is fine. Just... Again. Thank you. Just a message I had to check. Okay. Sangria. Finally get to meet you. Properly. I wonder what, like, my Falvis Sona would be. We'll stick with that so I don't... Yeah, we'll stick with this team. I don't know how... I mean, this would be the first time doing it properly. So we'll just see how build-upable the bleed will be. Just double checking... This is what I want. Important thing being Sam and Desire, really. Do I think I do have, in case we needed this. Yeah. Bring you. Oh, I get to hear. Oh, And we'll get to hear boss music finally.
이번에 읽어줄 동화책은
This'll be
이것으로.
that'll be a funny background to keep. After leaving Rian's quarters, we explored the Index's corridor for a while. But didn't find anything that could help piece Ryoshi's memories back together. Great work. Now that just leaves the Pinky Nurse Father's corridor. But that room didn't have any back door for us to explore. There were countless more in the adjacent corridor, but our guideline makes it a bit difficult to delve into each and every one of them right away. Which means that our work here is done. Thank you for your assistance, Dante. Okay, glad we could help. Dante replies they're happy to have been of assistance. Well then, it's been a pleasure. Can't say the same to you. After a brief round of handshakes, Alan returned to the forward base. We probably should have done the same, but... Want to take a look around here anyway? Sure. As we had more business here than simply checking the doors, we decided to stay a little longer and investigate the Pinky's corridor. The Pinky Nurse Father's room had a peculiar structure. Each door we opened led to a room identical in shape to the previous one. And even though I was certain we traversed through quite a few rooms, we somehow found ourselves back at the starting point. There's some small design differences between each room that help to tell them apart, but it's difficult to tell which is which unless we look really hard at every detail. Where are we now? The kitchen? How do you know that? Are there, like, kitchen utilities? I've been here before. Someone ghosted me after... Someone ghosted me after promising to watch Fixer clips together, so I thought I'd come visit. Someone y'all met too, I think, it was, must be another one who was severed by the Araishiki. Dang, you might be right. His name was Ren, the Pinky Apprentice. I tick-tocked, but no one here really seemed to have anything to say to that. I suppose that only makes sense. After all, his existence registered to no one here but me. So when you said back at K-Corp that you cooked before, you're talking about this, huh? Yep. I used to perform intense culinary artistry here. Your scabbard shaking. In a good way? The reviews were glowing. One of them was... Y-U-M, meaning, yeah, unbelievably mouth-watering. The scabbard, Araya, was defiantly shaking from side to side in a valiant effort to deny Ryoshi's claim. Must have been pretty darn bad, huh? Having a hard time believing her, if you ask me. Oh, what did you usually make? Box lunch. Oh, bento! Box lunch that kids might bring to grade school. With sausages cut like octopuses and tamagoyaki. Aww. I really like tamagoyaki. A bit simple to be intense culinary artistry, don't you think? I-F. Didn't you know? There's nothing like a school lunchbox rivalry. So I want octopus sausages, tamagoyaki, and... Why are we making sausages out of an octopus? No, I mean sausages cut like octopuses. And why are we cutting sausages into octopus shapes? Because it's adorbs, that's why. Oh! Why did you make, like, a virus? IF, it's fun, thank you. Oh, what's that? Sausages carved into an octopus shape. Didn't miss a single suction cup. Or ignorant fool. Come on, I didn't mean like a real life octopus. It's gotta be adorbs, Kay? Isn't it all the SD once it goes down the gullet? Why is this so important? Same difference? Oh, it's so cute! Look at that knife. But, Mommy, there's nothing like a school lunchbox rivalry. IDU. I don't understand. Huh? You're doing your weird acronyms again, aren't you? It means I don't understand. That's when you say IDK, Mom. SMH. These must be some of the happiest memories Ryoshu and Araya shared. The sinners, me and Araya, even as a scabbard, could imagine or recall them in full. But for Ryoshu, the most important part of those memories remains sliced away. Oh, that knife on the left is a real product. Apparently it sucks and is a scam. Makes Ryoshu's work here doubly impressive. It is serrated. I wouldn't... Yeah, for like the little sausages. I don't know if serrated would be that useful. They advertised it as being able to cut through metal and do other crazy things. I need to look this up. Still, if we can continue to piece more and more of our memories together by going over these places... You want to check out what's upstairs too? As soon as I asked, however, the sinner's footsteps came to a simultaneous stop. Wait. Hang on, Clockhead. Don't open the door just yet. I looked back and found Kira and Heathcliff poised to fight, hands on their weapons. Hand's always on his weapon. This way, manager. And Meso, who realized what that indicated, yanked me to the back of the line. And in mere moments, there was someone guiding those whelps. Figures they'd send more than fodder to the house of spiders. Thinks of wet dog. The claws of a massive paw slashed through where we had just been standing. Hello! Wolf mask? It really is, as Maestro Emile Benoit said. This place is already occupied. If you would be so kind as to help me with directions. Was this where Master Callisto's art is located? The question came from a woman who peered from one of the doors that led to a different corridor. She was wearing a wolf mask, and unlike the Fauves we had encountered thus far, she seemed to make it a point to speak and act with decorum. Love her design, I love the colors. But the subtle hint of violence in her voice quickly betrayed this air of faux civility. Sure you're at the right address, lady? Robo-Unk's, stuff ain't in this part of the house. Find a different corridor. Yes, I am aware. But I'm not here looking for his creations, which are easily mistaken for mass-produced garbage. I could feel her intense gaze even though her face was obscured by the mask. And there was no doubt that her eyes were bearing down on Ryoshu. Suddenly, I was reminded of what Rian said the moment before he fled through the corridor. We let them observe us too freely. What does that... The Fauves got to confirm a lot of important intel, including the fact that the House of Spiders has fallen, and that Ryoshu currently has possession of the Arayashiki. They want Ryoshu for themselves, whether she's completed or not. Ryoshu, as she is now. Isn't that... intriguing, for once? My name is Rufo. Yoshihide, the blade coveted by the Five Fingers, Master Callisto's final and posthumous masterpiece. As a docent of Fauvism, please allow me the honor of escorting you to our gallery. Do I want to? Don't see the point in hanging out with people in those unaesthetic AM. As expected, Ryoshu declined Rufu's request with a curt reply, and Araya too rattled angrily in the docent's general direction. Then, I'm afraid my only remaining option is to rely on our usual method of ushering. How are our odds? I don't know, she's probably tougher than me at my maxed out stats. Really? The shape of her ring suggests that she is a docent of the School of Fauvism. Her position is comparable to that of a capo of the thumb, or a big sibling of the middle. Verily, that maketh her a foe who may surpass even Ricardo's might, or, with a stroke of ill fortune, even Lei Hung. Doubt she's anywhere near as strong as Lei Hung. Our chances are H-O-H-O-H-O-M. Half or more? I like those odds. Half or more. Dude, really? Outmoded. Has-been. Why seek out the art of a has-been after all this time? It was a decision met with much confusion from the outset. Entrust such a momentous project in the hands of one such as Callisto. Why, everyone agrees that is no less foolish than casting a pearl before swine. I like Bitch's little fangs. And they were quite on point with that assessment. His oeuvre, covered from the house, were more tools than art. The sort that the likes of workshop meisters might be assembling. No self-respecting maestro would create such mundanities and call them art. Now, I must ask for your forgiveness for presuming that you would be no different from the rest of his work. But what I observed above this room completely changed my perspective. The scorched corridor, the ferrety which you scarred the walls and floor, as though a frenzied beast had torn through them. There's but one tool that could possibly have left such marks behind. At least you've got a passable eye for art. Yoshihide, I ask you, have you ever considered pursuing art of a further elevated beauty? It will be an experience that departs from the dilapidated remnant that dubs itself corporism, a movement so constrained by its obsession over the human corpus that, once it had depleted all meaning it had to offer, it began piling on empty definitions onto itself. It insists upon itself. Fauvism is a movement that is broken from the traditional mold, unfettered like a beast that roams free. We dare ourselves to ask questions that challenge the mind. What is man? What are things? What does it mean to trace the origin? How do we define that which we call the fauve, wild beast? These are the subject matters that have led us foes into the field of fertile creativity. Should you, a wielder of that relic, enter the fold of our movement, it will layer your work with such an unrelenting spectrum of colors that it will be destined to leave an unforgettable impression in the annals of history. In other words, what we can offer you will be of much greater worth than what you may have learned from a teacher like Callisto. Never considered him my teacher. Not a real one, anyway. Finding beauty amongst the carnage of blood and flesh is a lesson I learned on my own. And yes, I know enough about your movement. Maybe I considered some of the works created by your school acceptable, at least among the ring's art. Or not. I can't remember. Then, will you? But I don't know. I don't know what makes your art more elevated than the one I pursue. The one you pursue? Didn't the sight you claim to have seen clue you in? Oh, it did. I do understand. Your art may appear to be no more than unchecked chaos at a glance, but upon closer observation, it reveals a fierce, dominant force that threads the entire scene together with its keenness as the connecting suture. Your blade work, too, shows such multi-layeredness, mere keenness that entails mundanity, yet you have transcended such a limit by squishing the tail end of each slash. Truly a unique aesthetic sense. I believe I've sufficiently understood the full extent of the artistic merit imbued in that scene. No, you didn't. Lesser painters like you are such mediocrities that they fail to recognize the beauty that lies in the grotesque. They do little beyond painting the hell reflected in their eyes and call that shallowness hell's beauty. Oh, I like that line. The sorrow condensed into a cry held an instant, wrath unbound from the yoke of reason, the fainting gleam of despair in the hewn. You give no thought to what each of those emotions signifies, instead obsessing over the cursory qualities of what is beheld. Let me teach you otherwise. Finally, a debate about art! I've been waiting for this. Pay attention, because I won't afford you another long-winded lesson. Yoshi readied her scabbard. Pointillist, Faubus, Suprematists, Blau-Reiters, Cubists. I visited my share of the Ring's galleries, heard their commentaries, but none of them were to my liking. Your art is an overcomplicated pile of definitions buried under symbols, caked in patchworks of empty shells. You and your art both talk too darn much. Just like Callisto's, keep trying to take from other movements, forcing meaning where there was none. Excess is easy, anyone can do it. What's beyond most is making it succinct, the art of abbreviation. Alas, if all is one by one abbreviated away, nothing remains in its absence, making the void left behind completely bereft of meaning. No, the void is what remains. Negative space, and it holds things that can't be found anywhere else. What is this, a minimalist manifesto? Not minimalism. No, my aesthetics go beyond the pursuit of simplicity. I pursue the natural germination of artistic immaculacy, a state of perfection wherein further abbreviation is an impossibility. S-A-N-G-R-I-A. A bit abstract, isn't it? Too removed, too plain, with a distinct lack of any meaningful, striking qualities. What exactly is it that elevates your art above that of Fauvism? Painters. We're the stubborn sort that mere words can't convince. Indeed, there's no discipline more subjective than that of art. Discourse concerning its nature may extend for days on end, but will not change the fact that unseen arts are meaningless, pretentious illusions at the end of the day. And I suppose I'll have to carve it right into your eyes. Please do. Though I'm afraid it may be overshadowed by the fear of vibrancy of my aesthetics. I, a docent of Limbus, shall personally welcome you to my critique session. That's an Umineko face. I was waiting for that all canto. I mean, we did get a bit with Callisto and Albina, but... Here's he even for this one. Okay, finally. We'll turn it down a little bit. Finally. I get to learn what Rufo does. 8 protection. Okay, expression of primary colors. Final power +1 for every 6 bleeds sinking on target, max 2. Bleed, mold color blue, mold color blue. I assume this is the same thing as we do. Demon overpainting, sinking, mold color, conditions unmet, conditions unmet. Look at sanity quickly. Coloriage impulsif. Low morale effects. Every type of negative effect on the target this unit attacks. 15. Fragile. Okay. The Ring's Docent of Fauvism. Turn start, gain 2 protection for every allied Fauvis student of the Ring. If this unit used Critique in this encounter, gain 2 protection and heal 5 SP instead, starting for the next turn. Okay, Critique. At lower than negative 15 SP, double the SP healing effects. If there are no allied Fauvis students of the Ring, gain 2 Fragile and reduce this unit's SP down to 0 instead. Immediately before getting hit by a skill that has 1 attack weight, if there is an allied student in the ring, have the said unit take the attack instead 2 times per turn, excluding assist units. Turn end of the turn this unit used Critique. If an allied Fovus student of the ring was defeated in this encounter, refill its vacancy with the same student unit. Every turn start, the student that refilled the vacancy due to this effect gains number of allies. Fragile and offense level down. Okay, so they'll get weaker even we get reinforcements. Combat ends, inflict 1 palette vibrant next turn to sinners that have Mal color rouge, Mal color blue, and touche hardier simultaneously. This year's the same kind of thing. Yeah. If this target has 3+, 6+, 9+, Malt color, and Malt color blue, each inflict 2, 3, 4, Palette Vibrant instead. Amount inflicted is based on the effect that has the least stack. Intrinsic in the outward appearance of each animal is a distinct purpose, and we Lifos are the ones who awake and express the fairity of those we call wild beasts among them. Wonder what you think of the Hay Show. Mentorship. Turns start, randomly apply offense level up and defense level up to allied foe students of the ring, equal to number of turns. Each unit has survived, respectively max 5. If an allied student is staggered or recover from stagger, all attack type and affinity resistances for the students who recover from stagger due to this effect become fatal for the next turn. Turn end, if a student is in panic, heal their SP to 45. Doesn't she mock you if you bring the Hay Show? Oh, does she have an interaction? I haven't, doesn't look like she had a interaction with Rhodia, actually. Cast the Fauve Imprint Vital. Gain the effects of Fixed Panic. Turn end, if this unit is in panic, reset SP to 20. At under 70% HP gains new pattern. Remove all the effects from those exclusive to the unit. Remove all effects other than those exclusive to this unit. Turn start, gain the new pattern, gain the Fauvisme Masse de Loup. Min-max speed, inflict more potency. Before hitting, if the target does not have sinking, inflict 2 sinking. Before getting hit, if the target does not have bleed. Before getting hit. Okay. One might ask, what even distinguishes Les Fauves from factions such as Hay Shows, Arcourt packs, and more than incorporate beasts into their identities? That's what I was asking. A reasonable query. Of that there is no doubt. To say that we are distinguished by the transcendence of beastliness into artistic costumery. We are distinguished by the transcendence, okay? While the Hay Shows have mindlessly jammed it into their anatomies, disregarding their aesthetic qualities. Oh, her reaction to the Hay Show. A splendid technology indeed, to transplant the power of a beast into the human body. But does it offer even a single merit beyond the motif it draws upon? I would think it does. Have you seen Malfaust? Do you even know what you're talking about? Who is the best persona? Hi, Miss Good Rainbows. Hi, Titan. Let's see. Well, you'll be doing your evades. Who wants? What's her mind exactly? Kira's going for that one. I'll just let her handle that one. Checking neutral. Okay. Favored. Struggling, okay. Just everyone work on your SP for the moment. We'll be pretty safe.
Sauvage.
Did you beat Rufo in an art debate? Probably not, because I think a lot of the ring are... I mean, depends when you win. Because these people are like... these people, that sounds rude. Some people are so convinced of that they're right, there's like no point in debating, really.
본인은 최선을 다했다. 말해주시게.
And phobism is not a movement I am super deeply familiar with. I know it in terms of like the adjacency to the other sort of like art movements going on at a similar time, the like post-impressionism, neo-impressionism. Sort of like 20th century. Okay, you've got 3 of these. European. Can't ask me favorite art movement. I can't even answer like favorite games. I am very fond. I feel like it's a pretty boring answer, but I am quite fond of Impressionism and sort of like the subsequent movements, even if they aren't quite the same thing, but post-impressionism and neo-impressionism. But like they are, I guess, like the separate stuff. My favorite like sort of areas of study and art are like art during the French Revolution, sort of moving into the Napoleonic era, I think is a really interesting period. David's works in particular, what it would mean to like make art for the revolution and then become like the most important Napoleonic painter. Oh, I really like Rococo painting. That's another thing. I love the color palettes in Rococo painting. Less fond of like the sort of like sculptural aspects. I really like I'm a big fan of like history of photography, particularly I've talked about it before, particularly like very early history, the sort of invention era, and sort of this idea of a completely new form of art that nobody's even seen before, and they're still trying to conceptualize what it is. Is it a method of recording history? Is it an art form? Who gets access to it? This is like very important sort of scientific development that's going on at this time. History of photography. Yeah, those in particular. Impressionism, photography. Always love talking about early guys there. Can you believe like France realized this was such an important invention, they just bought the patent and released it to the world? I can't imagine that happening for anything ever again today. Okay, we definitely want... It's got some red coins. A lot of red coin going on there. Clash loose. Okay. Here, I'll let you take that. Seem okay. Ah, Delacroix. I mean, you'll be sacrificing you anyway, so... Struggling... Focus on... How is your How is your clashing Otis? I did swap you to the level, yeah, okay.
용건만 간다니.
Neutral. Actually, you can win that. Player the card. Thank you! Thank you very much for the super chat. I was watching a video about La Couture. They talked about Don Quixote at first. That's funny. Congrats learning how to draw Harem. I don't consider myself very good at drawing, and I haven't had much chance to do the hobby recently, which I feel very bad about, but it can be so hard and so frustrating, but I love it. I love art. I love making things. I love just the entire process. I love being able to express myself in that way. Sorry, Albina. Well, Faust. Oh, 5 damage. It was okay. Oh, Kira. $33, that's okay. Just don't want, like, the effects to build up. Iria?
예측은 의미 없다는 저려.
Just try and get everyone into their
더 야성적인 깊이로
other phases. Okay, oh, okay. Now you've got... Allow me a taste of what you call aesthetics. Maybe I should have gone rid of them faster. We do have... regular rend space. Okay, so how does this work? Critique. Target fixed. On use, Clash Power plus 2 very type negative effect on target. Clash Power plus 6 and deal 100% damage. Does anyone? Ina has it. Well, Faust, sorry. Sorry, skill. Target equipped a defense skill while having, okay, Clash Power plus 6, deal plus 90% less damage instead. Clash lose. Okay, we know what you're doing. Damage from the skill does not stagger the target. On hit does not trigger sinking. Unbreakable coin. On hit, reuse this coin. Max 2 times. On hit after losing a clash, reuse this coin. Max once instead. Does not trigger if the target is equipped defense skills. Okay. As long as we can win it. You have got that one. You are definitely doing that. At least just making sure nobody else. You've got mold color. Well, you're doing your own thing anyway. I mean, I guess we might as well defense on well, don't want to do defense on Ryoshu and kill anybody else. Okay, right, everyone else can... We're going, like, backwards. Okay. Lots of resonance.
개라는 소재를 통달한다면
짜증나게.
Okay, let's do
욕심은
Oh, look at that. Thanks, Kira.
낫도 밤도 지나 숨이 타들어 배운했다.
Okay. Just seeing the little lines above their head makes me. Can someone dodge?
숨 막히도록 견뎌왔고 절박하게 갈망했으니 헤아릴 수 없이 저주했으니
Besides, evade Master Ishmael. Okay. Pretty good. Okay, how we all doing? Yeah. Look up the 8. Rather save for like. Just work on our SP mostly. I'll keep things
작품을 보완하는 중
divided.
용건만 간단히
어디에서도 볼 수 없을 색채로
예측
Oh, this will probably take care of them.
처절한 원망
훌륭한
Another
단말이.
bites the dust. Okay. Bring the SP up. Here, we'll take care of this one. Oh yeah, 6x4. Keep an eye. Definitely gotta keep an eye. Okay, now what do we have? We're all doing this. Okay. Do have to be careful about any HP gates. And actually remind myself. Okay, you'll take those weak to what? Okay. You do resist the blunt. Oh, Minty! Welcome, welcome. I hope you enjoyed Refraction Faction Railway. Although, given what I've heard here, people have not been enjoying it. Or at least found it pretty tough. These ones don't have red coins. Might as well use this. And then she's gonna shed all the bleed anyway. You know what? Anything? Not really. So I'm not gonna focus too hard on like getting a bleed stack yet. Okay.
그려낸 대로
What is going on in this room? Railway.
아이씨 짜증나게.
Makes you miss Runa. I miss Runa all the time. But our critique.
구경 좀 해볼까?
인스피레이션 감사합니다.
Oh, the like little like aura background is so good here. Kira's really holding her weight. Hey, stagger. Here we go. You are worthy of the privilege to behold my prize needlework. We're gonna assert the corporism in the background. Okay, back to the protection. Did all this change? Illustrate primary colors, impassioned overpainting. Ooh. Oh, I like this. Oh, you can feel how cool it'll be when we get the voice lines. I'm trying to get rid. We'll get her. We'll get her there. We'll get her to her stage 2. Case. Can do that one. Stage 2. I wonder. Let's maybe wait till there's a better Lust Resonance turn, and then might be time for Sanguine. Just pay attention to what everybody's weak to. Do that one. How are we doing? Right, throw out regret. Just for safety. Hope they're clashing a little bit. Three, is everyone fast enough? Can you clash with these? Not really. Take that one. So we'll swap. Sure, okay.
감상은 어떤가요?
I remember when I did this story, it was also the first time I used Ring Hong Lu. I was confused why each combat note this gate of bodies appeared. That's funny. I saw a lot of like people showing off how to appear like important cutscenes all the time. Like Ishmael's like big moment in Canto 5. Okay, regret.
이 구속구가 나의 폭력을 저지하기엔 턱없이 모자르지.
The ring-related tracks are so good. Okay. Getting there. Rodion, where are your skill 3s? You're starting something. Okay, the thrill of inspiration. What have you got going on there? Can clash with his skill regardless of speed. Final power +1 and deal 10% damage or type of negative effect on the main target. Okay. Clash win, deal 10% damage, max 50, clash lose, inflict less. Damage from the skill does not stagger the target. On hit does not trigger sinking. Thank you very much. 9. What did you get? Okay, that's after. Yeah, okay. So passive changed. And the turn this unit uses a powerful attack, min-max speed +15. Oh, sorry, King. Do you mind shouting out Magrickson Fredrickson Esquire the Third? Shout out. Take 30% less damage from unopposed. Deal 30% damage with unopposed. Okay, don't unopposed. If the slot targeted by this unit's unopposed attack has +2 aggro, reduce the increased damage from this effect by 5% per aggro stack. If the slot targeted by this unit's unopposed attack, reduce the increased. Oh, interesting. Okay. On Clash Lude, gain 1 damage up 5 per turn. At turn end or at attack end of skill to hit the center, the damage up effect gained by this effect. Effect expires. That's the same. Gain 8 protection, 2 for every type of negative effect. Okay, on this unit. On Clash Lose, using Burst Forth from the Pulsing Crimson Under Your Skin skill. Gain 2 fragile from this effect instead of the next turn. 1 defense level each time this unit is hit by a skill coin, max 20 per turn. On turn end, defense level gained due to this effect expires. On Clash Lude, burst forth from the lose 1 defense level. Okay. Maximum paint tolerance dose. Paint tolerance dose. At under 35% HP, convert into ensanglante. Don't know that word. Heal up to 45. Okay, so still. You have another threshold at 35. Let's see what we can build up here. It means bloody. Thank you. That makes sense. Let's just see what we can work with here. To be fair, basically every team has quite a few of its own original status effects here. I don't think it matters so much what team you're using, even if some build up a lot more than others. Okay, 12-8. Missing Heathcliff. For the extra potency. This could have been nice. Oh, it's still such a cool animation. Even a Sanguine Desire. Like one of the scariest looking. Ego. Those eyes.
아쉽다. 먹지. 나쁘지 않고.
Okay. Okay, now here's the big one. Bursting forth in the pulsing crimson under your skin. Oh, the Fulvia's Master Loot Ensanglante has its own flavor text. Thank you, I missed that. I was waiting till we actually got to it, but we can look at. Oh, I love the way they're doing the like auras. They really look like paint strokes. Oh, they're so cool. I don't know like who is in charge of like all the particle effects, like who that falls under in the credits, but I'm always like, they're so good. I want a cool paint aura. Yeah, convert all coins into unbreakable coins. One or more of the following negative effects: bleed potency, sinking potency. Before hitting, a target does not have sinking count 3 times. Not a bleed, inflict 2 bleed count. Ouch. One does not simply awaken the power of one's inner ferity by donning a beastly mask. The interior of each headgear worn by these artists is lined with a mat of needles dipped in the Phobos paint, which is injected into the body upon equipment. Like Iron Maiden mask. Thus is the paint of the ring, and these artists, regardless of their school, are all bound to use it. Okay, what's the deal with the ring's paint? Because it was mentioned when the pass is. Oh yeah, and what do you do? The awesome name. Unfocused Volley. Priority target the Palo Vibon. This target does not trigger defense skills, excluding clashable guard. Can clash with skill regardless of speed. Oh, they said somewhere is middle tattoos. I guess it would also use needles. Final power +1 for every type of negative effect. Okay, don't deal with someone who has that. Don't. Target is equipped with defense skill of having power vibron. Well, we still want to clash with it. Same tech as the augmentation. Oh, ring there's up tie. I see which one I did. I just uptied him and meant to go back to it later because I was using him for in Mirror Dungeon in the middle of the other stuff. So still gonna clash with this. This coin hits all targets. Big highlight. Ooh. Could get some healing. Can this might not hopeless? Yeah, okay, what wants to clash with this? Always a safe bet. Just checking. Save Hex Nail. Need more Wrath on this team. We're getting close to Lake. Get a bit more Gloom. And who has you? Otis. Honglu. Can't quite tell. Rhodia. Look like anyone else? No. Okay. Do your best, Milso. a 42. That's pretty okay.
일리 있는 의견. 그걸로 하지.
Nice. There's the tails.
정지. 벗어날 수 없다.
Big powerful damage. That was 16.
아이씨, 짜증나게.
Okay. No! Some pretty good resistances. Yeah, bleed will do its job here. And we will just let it.
갑니다.
아이씨, 짜증나게. 어중간한 예술.
There we go. Photo finish. I'm back. Your black bloating screen is gonna get me every time. Okay, I like that. Not... I mean, I was using Ryoshu and like the sort of requisite team with a lot of... And Ryoshu is very good for applying a lot of extra statuses as well. Although having Kira's nice. I mean, I think by the time you get here, the time you at these like later Kantosid events, you should have a reasonable amount of units, I would think. I mean, I bet there's people that just like start now and do the whole thing with whatever team you get at the beginning, I would imagine. But Kira is nice and helpful, I think. For like bleed. Good memories. Having a bit of bleed and burn. Oh, I guess the question here is, how was her reflect trial? Since that is content, I will... Well, maybe they'll bring it back for the Bakgak. Content I completely missed. I guess I can go back and watch it now. You missed it as well. You get more mold colors, so Falbrant is a much bigger threat. You could rush it with bleed, both normal and hard. The one like comments I did see were people saying like Ricardo was more annoying and that was the only one I had experience with. So it's like, what should they... How should I expect reflect trials in the future? Ignoring... You could rush her with bleed. Ignoring the gimmick was actually the fastest way of clearing. Wasn't very different from the regular fight, just bigger numbers. Oh yeah, burst forth. That would make sense for the team switches. See, you're already looking much better with those superfluous animal parts removed. You're serious about founding your own movement. I already answered that. But you'll need time under the Phobos wings, at least until you can fully cultivate your movement, perhaps. I don't suppose words have any meaning now. The docent raised her giant arm as though to strike us in her final act of defiance. Then slammed it down upon the door we entered through instead. All I can do is bide time 4. Mid-sentence, the docent suddenly went limp like a marionette whose strings were cut. Dead. And here I thought, at least, her last words were going to be succinct. Thus we are made foes with yet another thing finger, the ring. Let's not doom and gloom already, fellas. We beat an officer of the fingers all on our own for the first time, didn't we? Oh yeah! Good point. I'll see this as a pretty definite win. All on your own. I mean, it means you're part of the group. Come on, bro. I was fighting my ass off out there. Herr Gregor has a point. The outcome of this battle would not have changed by a significant margin, even if you had not been here, Kira. No! This is more like it. Wanted to freak out over a mere BB anymore, as long as we're with Clock. Ha! Don't start congratulating yourselves for achieving the bare minimum. Those who celebrate over so small an occasion don't deserve to stand beside the executive manager. Well, I guess this isn't impressive at all to you people who used to be much stronger, like Otis or Don Quixote. Prithee, speak not such folly, for the joy of my compatriots is mine own. Have you any inkling as to why she might have, in her final moments, elected to demolish the door? Right? It's not like we have a shortage of doors in here. Are we really debating the logical thought process of someone who was 2 seconds away from dropping dead? Come on, let's get out of here so we can bring everyone else up to date. Didn't I just leave this room? Oh no! We're trapped in the back rooms. Ishmael walked through the door we entered through and appeared from behind us. Oh, shoot, where'd the exit go? Don't tell me the exit changes every time someone walks through it. No, can't be that easy. I am barred from enjoying the fresh air of the world outside. No longer free to travel the mountains and cliffs as my feet would carry me, as the other members of the Pinky are. I wish to no available that I should be allowed to weave the delineations of wings and back streets. So this is what she meant. The back door through which we traversed is a passage to the corridor of the one called the Index Nurse Father. Cross the broken door we might, however, it avails us but a brief jaunt. The Pinky Nurse Father's azure corridor before it returns us to this room. Room's now locked in loop without a starting point. Won't matter what door we open. Is there anything we can do? A rescue team will arrive in time. As this location adheres to the regular flow of time, unlike the warp trains, it will be approximately between a week or 2 from the present before we can return. That's pretty long. Well, the first problem we're going to have to deal with is food. As far as I'm aware, we should be good to go for at least 3 days, thanks to Rhodia. So let's... I didn't bring any snacks. It's not like we were about to walk into one of the Alcorp branches or a dungeon, so... Yeah, makes sense. Looks like we're going to have to give this room a thorough search then. No need. If there's no exit, we could open our own. What about the part where it cuts into your memories too? Deal with that yet? No, the sword still cleaves my memories with every slash. Don't know what memory it'll slice away this time, but it'll be something recent, or one I hold dear. Wait, don't be so bloody rash about it. Other than me, no one but Heathcliff still remembers the person he holds in the loving depths of his heart. Ever since the day of the Sepia Tempest. Sepia Tempest? Like that, memory took on a special, precious meaning to Heathcliff. Heathcliff suddenly reached out and grabbed Ryoshu's arm. Though Ryoshu and Heathcliff's circumstances were undoubtedly different from each other, it was clear that Ryoshu's reckless attitude towards sacrificing her own memories triggered a sort of anxiety in Heathcliff. What? Didn't you hear? Them nerds will be here in a week or 2 to get us out. Why don't we just keep that sword nicely in that scabbard and wait it out? The radio doesn't work. What if we went up to the rooftop and entered one of those doors up there? There are thousands of them. out of the question. By doing so, we'll be putting ourselves at a greater risk that of casting ourselves into the endless maze that is the corridor. I'm gonna say that sounds pretty... I have no idea where you'll end up. Okay, but we're dead meat if that brick wall of a maestro wanders right into this room. That wolf lady's last words. Man, I'm seeing the flags. Not the red flags. The hella risky move, yeah, but I think Yoshihide and her OP sword is her best bet. Right, but if we got lucky and they find us in a day or two... Quit freaking out. HC. It will only be forgotten, not lost. Well, good memories don't tend to last very long. It's been a fun excursion, Clock. I look toward the scabbard, expecting it to rattle violently as it did earlier, but it remains still. The white blade soon reveals itself and cuts across the wall where the door used to be. And naturally, as the Arai Shiki's blade cleaves through the wall, so does it Ryoshu's memories. We were really getting somewhere. We were really getting somewhere. The thin strands of Arai's image, which had just begun to coalesce, slowly unraveled and fell apart once again. Even still, Arai released the blade without hesitation. But it's okay, we'll try again, so... Conveying no resentment, no hatred, but a few words of consolation. Don't feel too bad. As her voice faded into the gentle dark with Ryoshu's memories. I feel like I don't see this sort of relationship where it's the... as much, I guess because like... for anime in particular, but like games... You're more used to like a younger cast, so therefore it's more often like the child protecting the parent. Or the parent, or I mean like the parent protecting the child, the parent being a sacrifice. I guess we see that sort of tragedy in Kanto 7, but having like the parent be the main character with the child trying to sacrifice themselves for them. I feel like I don't see that. I'm thinking about it. I know there's like stories with like cute kids and the parent-child relationship, but this very specific like focusing on the parent of the child having already sacrificed. I don't feel like I see as much. It's definitely not very common. Like I'm thinking like Last of Us, or I mean they're both taking care of each other and the characters do like fight for each other, but like the specific, and you have like what happens at the beginning with Joel's daughter, not that that was like a sacrifice or anything. Like I guess losing a child as like a motivator isn't totally uncommon in games or stories, but this like very specific focus. But I also find it very, very touching. The child going to like at any length for the parent, and a nice sort of like contrast to the previous cantos, which were all very much focused on family. Oh, the beginning of FMA, that'd be point. Bioshock 2, can't comment on. Not having played any Bioshock. Beginning of FMA is even kind of Macchia coded. I'll watch that one day. But it's not often that I feel like want to walk into something knowing it'll make me sad. But I mean... I feel like you see so much more often, like... the parent will sacrifice anything for the child. Having it sort of reverse like this is very interesting and also compelling, because I would I love my parents very much and would sacrifice a lot for them, even if they wouldn't want me to, and if they absolutely wouldn't want me to. No. We're not welcome back to you. Welcome back. Question. What exactly was the point of verifying every back door within the House of Spiders? Oh, Hohenheim didn't fill you in? Any information regarding these doors holds an enormous value for us, not to mention the higher-ups requesting us to reorganize the House of Spiders into a base of operations as soon as possible. Even if we had to rush our work a little. Among Us, I don't think that even really occurred to me that he would make a big Among Us silhouette. Only speculating here, but I'm convinced that they're preparing for a conflict of sorts. These little pockets of absolute safety are extremely valuable during these operations, as you already know. Wait, stop right there. What? What conflict? What operation? Are you saying that your bosses are preparing for a war or something? I just feel like there isn't enough alarm in his voice, considering what he's saying. Preparing for what? Not even trying to hide it anymore, huh? Did I say something wrong? Must you ask to know? I thought everyone already knew. I mean, it's an open secret at this point. L Corp has already fallen. W Corp is teetering on the brink of collapse. You call us the aspirant W Corp. We call Limbus Company the aspirant L Corp, meaning we have a shared goal. But unlike the dead and gone L Corp, the current W Corp's still kicking, despite its rapid decline in recent years. And as we all know, companies in the cities aren't worth much unless they've got the military force to back them, right? It's only natural that a business conflict would lead to a physical one as well. This is just a mere team leader speaking, though. Who knows what the higher-ups in our companies are thinking? Either way, much fruitful collaboration was had today. This will reflect pretty well in our performance metrics, and we didn't even suffer that many losses. I can safely say that you should expect a positive review from us regarding this collaboration. After saying our farewells to Alan, we returned to the forward base and shared with Hohenheim everything that's happened so far. Hohenheim and Faust both did not seem willing to discuss the subject of the looming conflict, so instead we decided to have Ryoshu's memory and sword re-examined. Wait, Hohenheim, results out yet? He's so worried. Not yet, assistant. I clearly remember telling you 3 minutes ago that it would take 20 more minutes. Have you forgotten already? He talks too much. Ryoshu sounded irritated as she scolded Heathcliff, but I could sense a definite undercurrent of anxiety from the way she kept puffing her cigarette to a stub at increasingly shorter intervals. This room might be more smoke than oxygen at this point. Mind slowing down a tad? You're practically fumigating the room with cigarette smoke. And speed up then glasses. Gonna bounce as soon as I hear the results. Both of you need to learn to respect that things take time. Yes, time is indeed relative, but the fact that I managed to complete an in-depth analysis of an item of such mystery in a single day is an incredibly fast turnaround, and therefore deserves your appreciation. Tiny text. I've been attempting to rein in the more self-indulgent part of myself as of late, but I believe this achievement deserves to be elaborated upon. It is an evident truth that such a result could not have been replicable had it not been for my genius brain. Go out to the hallways and grab any passing researcher and tell them about my incredible turnaround time, and you will hear them say, "Whoa, done already?" And to that I will answer, STFU. Evidently tired of the two sinners alternating turns hounding him for results, 09 seemed to speed up the analysis. I managed to hit the finish line much earlier than 20 minutes. Oh, done already? Yes, there are times when test results are extracted earlier than the predicted time frame. Many of those instances are easily attributed to my genius at work. Then why aren't you saying anything? Give me the TR now. You did tell me to STFU. So I'm attempting to observe the exact merits of doing precisely that. Ha! You think Yoshihide would ever use known acronyms straight? What if it's something like, sheesh, that's a full day. Unwind after work, though. And your verdict on her interpretation? That is exactly what I meant. She's better than MTL in some ways. Oh, she lies as she breathes. At that moment, I might have caught a glimpse of the scabbard rattling slightly atop the examination device. Almost as though we're giggling. Alright, prefers Akira to Sinclair. Very well, then I'll get right into it. First, the memory of the time she was complimented for her cooking has been erased. That is sad, but it's just the way of it being presented like that. Huh? That's it? Hardly. Second, a name has been erased from her memory. Do you recall the name of the man who works with manager Assad? Oh. Effie? I would have asked in the past tense had it been him whom I was referring to. Glad Miss Assad wasn't here for that. That kid, right? I don't remember it. Pilot? Pilot mention? In 2026? She forgot Pilot's name? Among other miscellaneous deleted memories are 172 hours of Don Quixote's tales of adventures and the types of food she fed to a seagull. But fie upon it! Dost thou say the memories most precious to young Ryoshu and me have been thrown into utter destruction? Look, Donkey, I'm not trying to be mean here, but that seems pretty acceptable, doesn't it? For the price of unsheathing a sword like that? 172 hours. We're going by sheer volume. I wouldn't quite say its mileage is acceptable. It erased several days worth of memories for a single swing, didn't it? I mean, yeah, but they kind of sound like inconsequential memories, don't they? Greg and Heath forget stuff all the time. How's this any different? The seemingly inconsequential nature of these particular memories weren't achieved by sheer luck. In fact, it seems to have been impacted by the scabbard of the Uraishiki, or to be more precise, the power of Araya's ego. Oh, Araya. I mean, it's interesting. I did start journaling earlier in the year because I wanted to keep track of every happy memory that was happening. That became very important to me. Even what felt like really inconsequential stuff, I wanted, if something made me smile, I wanted to write it down, make sure it's not forgotten. And it has been good for just, they're just short entries. And I like doing like planner decoration and using a lot of stickers. I'm just putting out my feelings sometimes, but it's the most focus on like the positive, the fun stuff. That's so. Ryosha looked down at the scabbard with an uncertain, hollow look in her eyes. All that remains of Araya and Ryoshi's recollection is a blank space where the fragments of her existence used to be, severed and removed again. I do really like stationery. Stickers and washi tape. And fun markers. Well, it takes a rather significant amount of time. The scabbard seems to be, yes, capable of selecting which of Sinner Ryoshi's memories are to be erased as a cost of using Uraishiki. Sounds like I should be grateful then. But Ryoshi regards the scabbard with a conflicted look, as though to approximate the outlines of the void she left behind. Oh, so it's got like a cooldown timer? She can use it whenever... whenevs, as long as she gives it time to select the trivial memories. Not a cooldown. I wouldn't be so quick to dismiss them as trivial. The memory of the time when you were complimented for your cooking, it was quite a precious memory, wasn't it? That's what I was thinking. Even those small things can be so incredibly precious. You performed an inverse calculation of the relic's cost. Yes, according to our measurements, the sword seems to factor in the weight of each memory when calculating the cost of wielding it. It's become rather clear that it takes more than light memories to properly wield it. So have our memories been restored? As presumed, attempts to recall the erased being's existence have resulted in failure. That is quite discouraging. It's early days, but not all is lost. Simply by knowing that something used to be in that negative space. Negative space! Many things can still be reminisced upon. It still gives you the outline. I really like the use of like negative space there. I can tell you, I mean, just look at the... Even just using like the outline of Dante, you could tell so much. Like Ryoshi said, forgotten but not lost. Clock. You've just stepped foot into the world of S-A-N-G-R-I-A. She flashes the briefest of smiles, then scatters it away with a plume of cigarette smoke. I like that line. Collecting the GB will restore it. What used to be here, in the pockets of void in my heart, my one and only. Ryoshi's gaze traced the invisible, the unperceivable. A few more days passed us by. We didn't spend those days idling. We visited Sod and Pilot in recovery. The few odd jobs here and there, like helping suppress a distortion containment breach caused by a new LCE hire. But with all the loose threads tied up, we managed to finally, after so long... kind of feels like we're home again. Has been so long. Return to the bus. Ah! Bus, sweet bus. The chair could use a little more cushioning, but there isn't anything like it out there. Dang, this is your ride? Hella badass. Between the two individuals who are looking rather pleased at Kira's astonishment, Bonheim squeezed through to warn us about some things to watch out for. He asked Team Leader Alan to set coordinates somewhere as close as possible to the nest. Keep driving through the door, and it'll bring you right to an empty spot on a highway. Don't hesitate or hit the brakes, because if by any chance there is a car driving behind you, it will crash into the bus. Nods. What are you two doing here on the bus? Decided to join the better team, did ya? I wish. I must admit a certain degree of interest in hearing of your exploits, but to accompany you through them is an entirely different matter, isn't it? I'm only here to adjust your coordinates. We keep Kira? Speaking of which, just how did you manage to escape your confinement? I told them I had some stuff to help you with, and they let me out after making me scribble over some docs. Solitary confinement's hella boring, so I thought I might get some air. Might as well say goodbye too while I'm out and about, right? I see. You exploited the fact that the new hires don't have any grudges against you. You thought I told them to impress upon the new hires that prisoners are to be treated as exceptions to the... Alright, the person in charge of that training is currently checked into the long-term recovery ward. More problems stemming from the shortage of manpower. I'd best include this in the report. Sounds like they're both here to see us go. Well then, time for a valediction, I suppose. I want to keep Shichun and Kira. Perhaps I've grown far too used to seeing your faces. Saying goodbye doesn't come out as easily as I expected it to. Another day of reunion must wait in the future. I would appreciate it if such a reunion had a low probability of occurring. Sorry, Faust, Hohenheim is too popular now. He's gonna be with us forever. Well, I'm not very partial to mathematical statistics like the probability theory. I hope your prediction is dead right. Well then. Hey, Yoshihide. What? We're... I wouldn't say we're family exactly, but... Listen, there's a lot of stuff I want to say to you, and a lot of stuff I want to hear from you, okay? So... S-Y-L... Oh. Did I do that right? Acronymize it into L. And call me Ryoshu, not Yoshihide. Prefer the echoes of that name. After a round of goodbyes, the two disembarked from the bus and... No sooner had the machinery clicked into place than the bus's wheels finally began to turn, bringing us closer and closer towards a blindingly radiant portal massive enough to engulf the bus whole. Well, off to our next destination, I guess. Oh right, where are we headed next? Dante inquires about the next destination, Virgilius. Now that's where I like it. Been too bloody long since I heard that question. You never like the answer to it. It's always bad. Yeah, don't get too excited. When has the answer to that question ever led us anywhere that's not downright bizarre? Virgilius gave me a faint knowing smile, as though to confirm Ishmael's pessimistic remark, then delivered a comment that sounded too lighthearted for its gravity. Downright bizarre, is it? Let me just say it's high time we face such a sight. Our next destination is District 14. In other words, Manager Dante, we are now en route to N Corp. So we are going there, after all. N Corp. Plenty of faces there I'd rather not see. As the rest of the sinners voiced their various gripes and discontent with N Corp, Merceau, who probably had the most amount of history with the wing, simply flipped open his newspaper like usual and began reading it with the same unchanging expression. As though for him, none of this changed anything. I mean, it was always bound to happen. Now departing. Vroom vroom. With that, the bus resumed its journey to yet another tale. Oh. Most importantly, quick. Oh, phew. I have no idea what to expect. I have no idea what to expect from the next canto. The Stranger is so interesting, but it's so clearly gonna be like... I can definitely imagine it being more like this canto, where it's much more tied into like the greater story of Limbus and all the N Corp stuff. I can't even get to... Oh, I'm so glad we get to Intervalos again. Me too. Even if I like the collab. I mean, I guess the next Intervalo will give us a bit of a sense of the theme or where we're heading. I think N Corp could use a bit of a... or at least our enemies in N Corp could use a bit of a glow up after what happened. With the frauds. Well, have a lovely night, Zeru. It'll be an Ace Attorney-like. The combat system will be reworked so the skills work like evidence. I'd love that. I would love that. When I was playing a bit of Cookie Run, they had like a whole murder on a train event. Like a pretty well fleshed out like mystery solving mini game. If we can do like Princess Maker, I would... You know, Princess Maker, I would love a proper mystery thing. Probably after Valpurgis. I couldn't remember the order, if it was Intervalo or Valpurgis. I guess, like, I would imagine if we're, like, continuing all these main plot lines, 10 will be, like, overall N-Corp stuff, 11 Smoke War, and then Faust rounding us back to, like, Limbus Company or even old L-Corp a little bit. Interval, line 2, Bakugak, then, well, that's what I remember. I remember it being later, but they did swap around, Blade 2, as Hillam said. But we are still in Inferno, so I have no idea how things are gonna change by the end of Inferno. I have no idea what the sort of how the status quo will change, are we gonna have, like, themed cantos again? Like, center focused? Maybe they'll change, I don't know, district focus? I am very happy. Well, I'm conflicted. One thing I'm looking forward to is Ishmael meeting Ahab again, just so she can have some proper character development again. It's hard because, like for her character, I think bringing back Ahab is sort of the least interesting thing. I don't want it to be a repeat of her own canto. The sort of, like, grit and friction that was going on, I do miss, like, the friction that was going on in, like, pre-Canto 5 Ishmael. And I think there's, like, ways they are, like, sort of working towards her character, but she's sort of, like, the least places to go. Yeah, Ishmael's emotionally moved on from that, and I don't love the... I feel like, I mean, without, even if it's a pretty, like, emotionally sort of conclusive canto with Canto 5, I think you still could have, like, kept some PTSD about the whole event and, like, explored that. I mean, Isan is sort of similar, but he still has the League of Nine to sort of work with. But for those two have, like, sort of the most overall complete emotional arcs. They haven't had, like, a whole lot interesting going on. They have been, like, showing little bits of what they want to do with Ishmael, with the they're sort of taking on a more leadership role. But there hasn't, I guess, like, grittiness to her character. That is what drew me so much to her early on. It's like we haven't had a lot with, like, Sinclair having, like, anger issues, which is always something I quite liked the early on. And it's, like, early writing and, like, sort of exploring that. I'm not just seeing how they're going to reintroduce Ahab into the story without Ish just redoing her canto. That's the question. Like, I trust Project Moon always, like, takes these sort of content, is, like, sort of storylines, and does sort of twist them on their head and make them interesting. But I mean, like, your options is, does she care or does she not care? Very, very clearly she should care. And, like, I think, like, someone going, like, completely backwards in their development could be something interesting. But I don't see that. I don't think that's where, like, sort of the writing has been leading her. Maybe she's so gotten over it, she'll be the first one to get, like, Shin and Mang. I really wish that Sinclair gets more aggressive when he meets more Inquisitors. I would like that too. I still, like, the bit in Canto 3 where he just sort of loses it, I think is, like, one of the most interesting character moments for him. I'm very curious how they're gonna like canon going forward, because like I really like the sort of like dark, depressed Sinclair we get throughout Damien the novel, and I thought we might be like heading towards that more somehow, even though it'd be like a sort of big twist on our own Sinclair, but we haven't really gone that place. Unless it's something, he does just grow a bit and get a new sprite. Maybe it'll be a time skip after Inferno. I don't know. Loop theory is... Loop theory... They have to do something more interesting than just like completely redoing each canto, though. I can't imagine we'll just do like a straight redo of the canto, except we save everyone. Like, narratively, I don't know what it would mean for like Isong to be able to like save Dombek or Ishmael and Queequeg. But if they had but then like on the other hand of like doing a whole time loop, if there was the opportunity, I'm sure they would take it, so you can't like not do it. That's a time travel multiverse writing trap. Even though I think there's like really interesting, I mean, I do like time loop stories. I really, really do. Just the way things have been like all wrapped up here with like a lot of the cantos, I don't want them undone. I can't really imagine like it working out in a way that we like what are we doing? Like, save Yuri. Save, I don't know, the guy who got squashed. Save Effie. Save Samjo. Save Queequeg. Save Kathy. Let's just grab Hinley too. Save all the blood fiends. We're making an army. Surrendered witnessing went out if Shichun had died, maybe I'd feel like we'd be heading in that direction. Bring Samjo to an actual swimming pool. He'll be right back. It took like 4 or 5 years, however it gets there, but he was right. Came back. I don't know, I get the vibes that PM isn't interested in little travel to the past stories. If things had ended up worse, I could imagine it, but the way like things are wrapped up in a lot of the cantos, I just don't see how it would work. The only way, if we like went back in time, I'd imagine we'd be trying to like properly change things from like a different perspective. Maybe they'll just do like it's a fixed point in time. These deaths are all fixed points in time, so we can't go fix your cantos, but we can go elsewhere and try and prevent W Corp from falling / prevent Wayfarer Corp from rising. Something like that. That could be interesting. We'll get to like, I mean, I feel like people have been speculating about some sort of reset like that since the first trailer, when we saw the big like population drop. But I've no great sense. I mean, I hate predicting anything. You should have seen the bingo that I don't think I ever shared for the surrendered witnessing. It was awful. I got nothing. Even though like half of it was me like, this is what's gonna happen to each of the beauties, and then notice how none of them showed up? Why do you even want to save W Corp? I mean, you could reform it from the inside. Of course, I don't want to save W Corp, but if it's something to, if it's to, like, prevent the second smoke war, I don't know. We'll sneak them Wayfarer Corp's technology. It's only the trains that are bad, not W Corp as a whole. I mean... the whole aspect of selling cheaper tickets and only selling like the high class, keeping a very limited number of high class tickets is not a great look. But saving Warp Corp prevent I mean, I don't know, it would. Does it W Corp at Cannibal Town? Oh no. Oh no. They mustn't slander, what's her name? Lesty? We need, I always mourn, like, one of my favorite fan comics, which is one where after leaving the library, Tomeri gets, like, sent to, somewhere in the back streets and starts beating up all the bullies, and then Tomeri becomes the hero of the back streets. It's just like the cutest, sweetest thing, and an actual nice ending for Tomeri. And then Leviathan comes out. No. If we can go, we'll go far away, far enough back that we can still make Tomeri hero of the back streets. Then, oh hey, an orphanage, no. No. That's also part of math. Lauren explains that she's a ghost librarian. Believe it or not, the librarian concept came before playing Library of Ruina. It was like the other way around. I got interested, I saw Library of Ruina and saw that it was like a library RPG, and I was like, I love librarian studies. I love archival studies. I gotta play the librarian RPG. Let's feel like it's been forever since we've seen the library returnee. Still waiting for... Still waiting for the, for Philip. One day. E-Corp having Dawn Body is like one of those like really interesting and scary loose threads, because what it means for our Don Quixote. And like Dante not saying anything, that's something that needs payoff. I can't imagine erasing that because it's so interesting. I guess even if you like went back and fixed that, that wouldn't change like Dante and Limbus Company like letting it go. Yeah, some of the crying children. That was always the concept that people were running with. We only got like, only part of Philip was unbooked and died. So we don't actually. I've always found that there was always sort of like, I've seen people discuss it like this this idea that like Philip would come back, wouldn't have any memories of like the full distortion form, but he's a fugitive because he's known as the person who destroyed a chunk of a nest. I thought, and like is now on the run and like doesn't know what's happening, doesn't know what happened to the rest of his office. I think like that's such an interesting idea, and like maybe on the verge of distorting again. Like I think there's really something interesting there that I'd like to see happening, particularly if we're like dealing with more distortion stuff. Moses can fix them. I don't think they'd actually know Phil. I feel like, wasn't it mentioned? It's been a while. I thought they knew that. I thought like in one of the like Liu receptions, or like one of the cutscenes involving Liu, they knew it was Philip, but it's been quite a while. Oh yeah, and everything to do with what's gonna go on with like the 2 R-Corps is also needs payoff. They did know, I think. They identified his connection to Dawn Office. That's what I... Yeah, and he left Dawn. He like destroyed everything but the Dawn Office. Like there's a real interesting thread left there, but it's still like a total mystery what it meant to be only like partially booked and unbooked, so... I was also surprised we like got like a Philip ID so early. Who knows? But I'd really like to like see where the rest of that would go. Even if like, I guess you could argue Philip himself had... the bad part of Philip had an arc. I'd like to know what Emma and Nora are up to. Mirror dungeon, but it's 7 floors. Every boss is just a crying children face. And no health hauler and mind hauler. Gonna use fluid sac every turn to deal with the burn damage, and you're going to like it. Okay, I am going to finish up here, but I'd hope to... I always love just like these little chats as well. I guess we'll find out what's coming next with Limbus, and if I wanna... I don't know if I'll like stream my initial Refraction Railway one, but maybe when I'm trying to do the... Because I do try and do like relative low turn counts. I can come back and do that because that tends to require resets. Although I didn't bother with like line 1 Bokak. And no streaming Mobius. No. But this weekend I would like to start another new game, which is likely the Seance of Blake Manor. It's another sort of mystery detective game. Back to my bread and butter. Oh, and Tails, thank you so much. The embroidery was gorgeous. Thank you. Sorry, I meant to reply to that. I'm really sorry, but thank you. Better stream Morbius. I'd rather. I've never seen it. At least it'll be something I haven't seen. And I love seeing people's artwork. It gives me more. I really need to get back into doing my own creative stuff. I've just been a bit drained of that energy. But thank you all so much. Of course, I appreciate being able to witness all this again. I love being able to share it, and I will see you all soon. All right, thank you. Bye bye.